Hello and welcome to part 18 of our playthrough of Songs of Syx in the great city of Foremenlore, which is now starting to become a place worthy of its name. So, in the last episode we were building up our bridges, we were having a little look, we did disband our militia, maybe a little bit of a bad idea in hindsight, but we're doing pretty well with our raw resources. Our food could be better, but we're getting kind of, working up. We've managed to get our library finally up and functioning as well. That's really going to help us out with our workloads that we need for our guys doing research. It should mean we should get a lot more research points and I'm more likely to spend them as well, which is always very, very nice. We do have to be a little bit wary of our paper amounts because we are going to be using quite a bit. In fact, we are already using more paper than we are making, so we're going to have to be very, very cautious of that. But that's something for future me to worry about. So let's carry on. We're currently sitting over 1,000 population, which is very, very nice. As far as the amounts go, for us to get to the next level, let's have another little look. So whereabout is it? Here we are. So we need to get to Decory ready. We need to get 1.2k population. That's going to give us some more nobilities and some extra things. We're doing pretty well. We're already at a Decory, which means that we've got our embassy and our administration, which is very, very nice. Having a little look at our embassies or spies, as we maybe want to see, we can see these guys have 102 soldiers that we know of. Don't know the locations of them yet. We don't have the required knowledge to really get a good idea, but we are slowly but surely building up support towards our people. So we'll get another envoy in there. He can continue getting support up and we can do what we can over there. And that'll just kind of plug away as we're doing stuff. So we don't have fabric in range, which I guess we're all using up. So our tailor over here. What do you mean fabric's unavailable? Yes. So, why is there unavailable fabric? Maybe our weaver just isn't working enough. I mean, it should be. We've got our cotton, that's why. So we're running a little bit low on cotton, so we maybe have to have a little look at our farms again. I know we keep looking at our farms, but it's just something you have to do. Let's tell our guys to clear out some rocks over here, see if there's anything left that we can easily get over on this bit here. Seems like we have pretty much cleared it out. There's a lot of rocks over here on this riverbank though, so let's just go ahead and we can clear out as much of that as we can, just to help us out just a little bit. But overall, people seem to be mostly happy. Our amount of food is a little bit worrying. We do have a lot of grain stockpiled, however, so that is good. That should mean that our bakery here is able to just continuously make more bread. We gotta make that bread, as all the Zoomers are saying nowadays. We could potentially think about upgrading this. The problem is that we don't have enough workforce to really make good use out of it, unfortunately, but maybe in the future we will. And other than that, we just got to continue cracking on. I do not like the fact that we are out of fruit. That is potentially terrible. We could lose babies here, and that would be very, 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 very bad. We do not want that. So we're going to need more fruit. How is our trees doing? So it seems like we're going to get some more trees soon, which is good. We just need to make sure that they are definitely tending to them. It does look like they are. So fingers crossed that continues going. With this fruit farm, this grain farm, we may possibly replace them with another fruit farm, but it's kind of in the way where we want our road, which is a little bit unfortunate. We'll have a little think about this, and hopefully we'll get a trading caravan coming in and giving us a whole bunch of fruit. That'd be very, very nice. We have a lot of furniture. That's good. Apparently our import depots don't have enough people. It seems a bit strange. Let's actually tell them to import more fruit. We seem to be eating a lot of fruit, so we'll tell them that we want even more. I'm willing to spend more and more money or do that. And in fact, we have our first starving person. Really not ideal, guys. I'd prefer if people didn't starve in my nurseries. That would be great. But fingers crossed we can get a caravan in sooner rather than later. Our animals are doing okay, slowly but surely getting up, which is nice, just as long as we can continue to tend to them. We've got enough houses as well. We've got far too much coal again, so let's actually just divvy down the coal miners just ever so slightly. Get them down to 10. This charcoaler is already off. Kind of says to me that we're maybe not producing enough iron, and that's one of the reasons why our metal is suffering so much. So maybe we want to actually start to produce a little bit more iron ore. Yeah, we'll increase that by 5. You can see our tool usage is a little bit low. Yeah, we don't have ore, that's the issue. So we're not having enough ore to make into metal bars. That's why we're not using up our coal. So we'll get a couple of extra guys there, and that should help out quite a bit. Our number of days of food is dwindling. Our ration supply is going steady, so that's good. People will eat that if they start to starve, which hopefully they will not, but it's something that could happen, especially because even though we are making a fair amount of bread, we could be certainly making more. And we're kind of running out of wood as well. Everything we're kind of running out of, but that'll be fine once we get more people. The main thing that we want to work on just now, let's see who's starving here, is the children. Not ideal. Overall, that could be a lot better. We'll wait until these two farms here, potentially even this farm here, are gone, and then we'll kind of move out. Although we're kind of moving into the city, maybe we don't want to build out more that way. Maybe we want to try and build out. We could build a nice little bridge across here. That could look quite nice, actually. Let's do that. I kind of like the idea of that. This is our kind of our main area that we're growing things in. And given that this is so close to our the river here, I don't think we need a canal. Or certainly we can just have like, so if we just build a little street here, and then we can kind of just do like a little blocky one over here. It's going to take us a little bit of time to do, but it's fine. We can fill that in a second. Yep, there we go. I think this looks quite nice. There we go. So this will come in, and then we'll do the same over here. Nice big stone bridge just heading over the water here. And there we go. Cool. Make sure to fill that in as well. There we go. People will work that when they get a second. Did I just build that out of... No, that's paved. I thought, for some reason, that looked like wood to there for a second. I'm going to get my eyes tested, I guess. But never mind. We're just going to continue on working. We're having a little bit of issue when it comes to actually supplying things, but I'm sure we'll get around that soon enough. Don't have enough woodcutters allocated. We need more people. We're completely out of fruit. We are very reliant on our imports for fruit at the moment, which isn't great. Immigrants, less than ideal. So a bunch of our Crotonians are also going to leave. If we... We could, if we wanted to, completely like upend our city in order to start getting some more people out. What do we need? We need food. The main thing is we need food. We can get some really cheap fishery research. There we go, that's up to 5. We get some even more cheaper husbandry methods, which I think we will. We have a lot of research available, so I see no reason not to just get some more of it. Could just make everything more efficient. We've already got edible crop all the way up to the max. We could get hybrid optimization, but we need to get industrial wheat. To be fair, we are, that's pretty expensive, but if we get that to level 3, we are producing herbs, we are producing cotton, and cotton we're out of. So if like we can get another more cotton, that means it's another resource that we don't actually have to import either, which would also be great. How we did over here? We even finished these things yet? We have indeed. Okay, let's upgrade them so we can continue getting some workers. The Crotonian emigration is not ideal. That does mean there's going to be less people probably working on our farms, but we can deal with that. Would be quite nice as well to unlock machinery. We have an okay amount of our metal bars. Export, right, okay, we got to make sure that people are working the export depots, because that's how we're making the money. Yep, so they should all be, and the import depots, yep, they're absolutely fine. So yeah, we want to make sure people are working the export depots so that we can, you know, actually export some goods. That would be preferable rather than just having them sit around and do nothing. We could potentially as well build out some more guys here. Yeah, can we get an extra one? We can. Perfect. Build out some more houses here because we probably need some more space for, even though we're doing okay in terms of number of houses, we probably want houses closer to people's work places just so they're actually able to do some more. There we go. That's looking nice already. A nice little bridge over there, and then we can start to really kind of make this area our own. We can set up another big farming area over here. Potentially also build one over here. We can get some really nice irrigation ducts kind of going up and down along here too, but that's in the future. Let's worry about the food situation to begin with. So we've got a little bit of a harvest coming in. We've got our vegetables coming in. We've got a little bit of fruit coming in. That should deal with all of those starving children, of which there are a few, which isn't ideal at all. But hopefully they'll be okay. And if they're not, then people will just be very, very unhappy. Surprisingly, people are not very happy when children die. Who could have thought? But overall, this bakery here, I might potentially even think about putting in a little door over here next to this kind of area just so they can get quicker access to it. But we are making a whole bunch of bread. If we had more workers available, I would also just expand this out a little bit more just so we can make even more bread, because we've managed to get the logistics nature of it kind of done. We've managed to haul our grain in position, we've got our coal in position. It's more just about producing the sheer number of goods that we require. And if we wanted to get advanced bakeries, we'd need to get mechanisms as well. So mechanisms do seem to be the next thing that we're going to need. We have a lot of vegetables, that's really good. Hopefully we'll be able to hold out for the rest of the year with that. And we should be getting a grain harvest coming soon. How are we doing over here in the fruit orchard? Yeah, not too bad. We should be producing that in a day. And then we should be able to use that to then make us some good stuff from that. Good stuff being unstarving babies. Let's have a little bit of a look-see and see what we can see over here. So we're getting a little bit more support in the freelance. That's good. That's going to take us a little bit of time in order to do, unfortunately. And it's also going to take us quite a bit in terms of our fabric. We are also out of clothes. I wonder if that's making people a little bit unhappier, but hey-ho. Number of workers slowly going up. People are still fairly happy. Our plebeians and our humans are still not the most happiness or the happiest. And I wonder if that's to do with our services. We don't have very good tavern service. Decent number of people going to the fight pits. Is there somewhere else we could put a fight pit? Where's our other most populous area? We've got a kind of fairly populous area over here. We could potentially think about building something like a stage or something like that. Just to make people a little bit happier. I mean, how much... Yeah, but everybody pretty likes the blood sports, so maybe we could just build one of them there. I think that's probably a good idea. Yeah. We'll build a fighter's pit. It's going to cost us a bunch of wood, but I think we can make that cost work. Could make it even bigger. So it's the biggest one. I think we're okay with just a normal size fighting pit for just now. Yeah, let's build that there. Cool. So people get to work on that. It's going to take us a bit of wood in order to do. Speaking of wood, let's just start felling some trees around here. Good stuff. And this kind of patchy patch in between our current farming area and elsewhere will also cut down. We have enough odd jobbers thanks to our fields that we can just cut these down, and it'll just mean that we need more of our warehouse workers working away. Having a little look at our stockpiles of goods after the harvest, things are looking pretty good. Our number of days of food have shot up, which is very helpful. So we should be on the road to recovery thanks to that harvest, thanks to a little bit more of the imports as well. Hopefully people will be a bit happier. And once we can fell all these trees, we get enough wood together, then we can think about maybe upgrading some other things as well. When it comes to the brewery, we could get that. We do need a technology for that, but I don't think that's very expensive. And to be fair, how much is it? Yeah, 350. Let's just get it. Let's just get that. We'll upgrade this. We don't have very many people working in the brewery, but that should make it so that we have a much higher amount of alcohol. More alcohol means people will be happier. More people will be able to come to the tavern as well, which will then make people even happier as well, because they'll be able to get access to the services. How are we doing over here? We don't have too many prisoners. That's good. Somebody has died. They were mauled to death by an animal. What a shame. Speaking of animals, if we do want to get just a little bit of an extra amount of food, we could just come around and we could just hunt these animals here just for a little bit of meat and some eggs and whatever else we can get from them. Those are the closest kind of sources of animals are kind of around us. We can just kind of hunt them down. You know what? We'll hunt down this cat as well. And I think that's all of our animal spawns here. That's fine. They'll just work away. We'll lose a couple of people probably to getting mauled to death. But given that our graveyards are doing okay for just now, I think we should be alright. And how is our access to things? So we're still currently giving lots of people wood. We're not giving them as much furniture. We're not giving them any fabric. We're not giving them any pottery. Do we want to lower people's access? We could. The Crotonians do have access to a lot of pottery. The Dendorians have access to a lot of stone and a lot of wood. I think we maybe cut back on their amount of stone. They will lose a little bit of happiness, but I think that's worth it. We don't have the hides to give to these guys. We definitely don't have the animals. These guys are getting far too much fabric as well. Let's bring that down. We need the fabric for other things like the people in our embassies, for example. And how are we looking? Yeah, we're looking all right. We may reinstate these conscripts. I am feeling a little bit naked without them, to be quite honest. Does mean that we're going to be losing out a bunch of people while they are training, but I think that's okay. We'll give them probably 100 worth of leather armor. We'll give them some war hammers as well. They can just train that out. Lickety split. And then once they're done training, we'll then build up another militia group and probably one after that. And then we will think about conquering the nearby region. As we could really do with some taxes. Not just monetary taxes, but also getting some goods from them. If we have a little look at what this freehold or the free land does do, it does make ore and it makes stone. It's not that great for anything kind of like farming or anything like that, but I mean those are two good things to have. This one, decent amount of terrain, bunch of neighbors, something to keep in mind. Over here, this one is good. It's got a lot of clay and coal, mostly coal. Lots of mining to be done in these bits over here. These things have really good stone, really good ore deposits. This will be our money maker. How about Kenneth? How are you looking? Again, you've got really good stone deposits, mostly to do with mining. And then as we go further afield, you know, you get more and more lands with more forests. More forest means more fertility. More fertile somewhere is, the better it can grow stuff as well. So that's something we're going to have to keep in mind. Overall support is slowly but surely growing, which is good. That's what we want. And even use that to try and increase our own population as well. Something that shouldn't be sniffed at. But yes, overall things are looking pretty good. This carpenter, we still haven't upgraded it after all this time. We just need more metal. And to get more metal, we're going to need just more ore. Ore seems to be the main thing that's kind of stopping us here. And what's stopping us from getting ore is more workers, because we're already fairly efficient other than research for these kind of things. Speaking of research, do we want to increase bakery production? Indeed we do. Let's do that. We might as well. Bread is very, very important to us. The more bread we can have, the happier people will be. Do we want to think about maintenance? No, we could think about spoilage. Because we are, well, I mean, we're not really losing meat or fish to spoilage actually, because we are... Overall, we're eating it before it even starts to spoil, so I don't know if it's particularly needed at the moment. Decisions. What do we want to get out of our research? We're okay for knowledge for the moment. Do we get more upgraded hunters? Yeah, it's very cheap in terms of the point cost. Let's just do that. That should increase the amount of meat we're getting. We can see that we've got an increase in the number of bread, or the amount of bread that we're getting. We got a pretty good increase in the amount of fish that we're getting, and for meat. This research will really start to help us bring in some more goods. And once we can bring in more goods, that means people will be more fed. The more fed they are, the more days of food that we'll have remaining. And the more people we'll get. And we'll suddenly get rid of this horrible amount of workers that we need. Yeah, overall things are actually looking pretty good. Even though we had the issue of mild child starvation. You know what, we can get around that. It's fine. Absolutely fine. In fact, we've got a little bit of a mass grave going on. Are people dying? Yeah, we don't really have people available. So let's maybe think about afterlife. We'll build ourselves another graveyard. Maybe we'll build another graveyard down here. Build it just off this road here and off the fishery. There we go. We'll make sure it looks kind of nice. People like it when there's nice graves. Yeah, we'll kind of build them there. We'll build them there. We could probably get a nice little pathway in between. There we go. It's not very much respect, but at least there's some respect being given. So we'll put down some flowers as well. Maybe a little tree. We get a nice little tree here. Yeah, in the corner. Perfect. There we go. And that's the best we can do. Not the best respect. It's going to cost us a little bit of stone, cost us a little bit of wood. But we should give our people more places to bury, and that should also increase their happiness. If we have a little look here, yeah, they're fairly-ish happy, but not the most. In terms of access to shrines, we are fairly low in shrine access. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. Let's clear out these rocks over here. We should have people that are about. We can go clear rocks. Ah, perfect. We got a massive increase of people there. That's probably another migrant wave or a bunch of our kids growing up. which is looking more and more likely as we increase the amount of fruit and vegetables available to us. We've actually got a pretty good stockpile now of food. You can see that from the 9 days that we currently have. Good stuff, good stuff. How is our brewery doing? Yep, we're just working away. We're just making some more of that. Probably stop by either pots. Coal is fine, grain is fine as well. So fingers crossed we can just keep that going. Do we want to build another restaurant? Quite possibly. How much cut stone do we have? We got 224. People are using this quite a bit. We could build a restaurant up here because it's very close to the coal. It'll be quite clear, close to this warehouse as well. Something to keep in mind. One of our slaves has died. I've noticed that number's just dropped. So, what a shame. Great worker, that slave. Shame he never made any income. And overall, our trees are slowly increasing. We should be making a lot of fruit out of this fruit orchard. Potentially we'll also build another one, just kind of like hugging the side of the river here. And if we have a little look at our fishery, is there any other place that's good to fish? This place is good to fish. About up here. This is another really nice place to fish. We could actually fish kind of along here, potentially. Because we're not going to have anybody else farming along here. So we could instead just build a couple of aquacultures in this kind of area around the clay. We've already got all these deposits. This is okay. It doesn't take many fishermen, and it is fairly productive. So especially once we get this upgraded, I think this will be quite good. Yeah, it's already making 14. Let's do it. Let's just get some more fish. We're not doing too badly in terms of food at the moment, but I think that's just because of changing numbers and people kind of moving about and big influx. What about over here? So we just need to build up our storage, build up our auxiliary. Not the most, but these fisheries are pretty cheap and they're not that worker intensive, so we will go with that. A lot of wood that's been cut down. Great. That means that we're going to have many more buildings made out of wood. Psych, we'll make them all out of stone. Lucky us. How are we doing for research? Okay-ish. Not the best, not the worst. Why are you all the way over here? Oh, you may be hunting, I imagine. But you managed to find some fish, so you're okay. Yeah, how are we doing over here? Yeah, we're doing alright. That's the main thing. And we're just going to keep working away. We've got our army together. Very good. Yeah, we do want to make sure that we have probably a large militia. We might even think about building up another squad. Yeah, let's create another squad. Make them humans. We could make a Dundorian squad, actually. That could be interesting. Let's give them some 50 leather armor. We'll give them also mauls, the warhams. There we go. They can work away and get themselves trained up, because we're going to need some armies in order to take out the 100 or so troops of our neighbors. We could also potentially think about recruiting some mercenaries too, just to take over this region. But we shall see. We got a little caravan coming in. Let's see what we can recruit for our armies. From our mercenaries, we can... That is a very large horde. 36,000 for the initial cost. Wow, that is a lot of money. I mean, it's literally for 15 humans. They seem pretty good. They're not even all equipped with things, so... Yeah, you might be overselling yourself a little bit there, mate. Never mind. It's always good to check, see if we can get some mercenaries to help us expand without relying on our militia, because obviously our militia will die in combat. That's just going to happen. There's nothing we can do about that. And just like that, we're suddenly a little bit lower on workers, but once they finish training, they should be okay. We could upgrade this. It's going to cost us a whole bunch of steel, but maybe we don't. Still don't quite have enough for upgrading our carpenter. We'll get there eventually. Let's build ourselves another stage. I like the idea of having more stages about the place, just to make people a little bit happier. Let's build a stage over here. It's kind of near hunters' huts. Do we have a booth over here? We do not. Build another one over here. Do we have one over here? We do have one over here. Let's build another one down here. Just make sure people are nice and happy. Yeah, we'll build a booth over here. People will be literally dancing on top of other people's graves. I'm sure that'll do very good for the dead. No ghosts here, at least it's not Dwarf Fortress. But yeah, things are going okay. We are out of paper. We can remedy this by getting more paper makers, so let's do that. Let's build ourselves another workbench here. Just expand this out just a little bit. We will be a little bit wanting for workers, but we have everything that we need to get this working well. Can we get just a little bit more? No, we don't need to do that. Cool. Yeah, 100% efficiency. Get to work, everybody. Build that up, please. Fast as you can. We've got the furniture, we've got the metal bits, we've got the stone. We'll just build this up nice and quick and then we'll start producing more paper. We need it for our embassies, we need it for our school, and we need it for our laboratory. Why are these degraded? Is our janitor hasn't got enough workers, so we'll increase the priority. We need more people working as janitors, is what we're seeing. Because as building gets degradation, that means that they do not work quite as quickly as they did before. So we'll have our janitors get to work. Maybe we need, this is a pretty central area, even though it's covered. Maybe we just need to build another janitor. We'll probably build one up here. Yeah, that fits in nicely, just there. Cool. It's going to need even more workers, but that's fine. We're slowly but surely getting people in. And our food stockpiles, oh, they're just growing massively. Fantastic. Now that we've kind of gotten over the hump, we're starting to get all of our stalls properly supplied. People are happy as can be. I think these extra services are probably helping out as well. Let's have a little look. So we've got stages have gone up. Fighting pits, kind of about the same, but I imagine these guys here, no, they've actually gone down. Strangely enough, but what about our Tondorians? Yeah, they're saying they're not getting particularly good fighting pits. Nobody really is. I guess is there maybe not enough people who are being it's because this hasn't been upgraded yet. That'll be what it is. Whereas I'm pretty sure our other fighting pit has been upgraded. No, it hasn't been upgraded either. So I guess that's why people aren't too happy with their quality of fighting pits. I was going to say we can maybe even get the sword upgrade so we can start producing our own swords so we can get our guys with their shields. But as it stands, we're actually minus research, and that's because of that degradation that we're having. It's not ideal, and also the fact that we don't have any paper being produced. Because we don't have any paper being produced, the library will not work, so our knowledge will start to drop down. Main thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we're getting enough people here. So let's boost this all the way up. Let's start giving them some tools as well. As many tools as we can. We want to massively increase the amount of paper that we're making. Going to be a little bit of a drain on our wood stockpiles, but this should hopefully be enough. As predicted, yes, this should be enough. Good stuff. Livestock dying. Oh, that's terrible. Our entelants are dying and we've culled them. That's the last thing we want. That's our meat producers. Yeah, we've just lost a whole bunch of animals. Not ideal. Not ideal. Not what we want to see. Maybe we need to go out on the warpath soon. Ah, but we actually have a plebeian population of above 1,000 for, I think, the first time proper, and it seems to be fairly stable. Of a very loyal plebeian people. I mean, if we look at the humans, it's like nearly 25% of our people are native, so 1 in 4 people are actually native to this land. The rest are immigrants. But that's okay. Or is it just for everybody? Ah, yeah, okay, it's just for everybody. Yeah, they just don't like the overall number of immigration. I kind of thought that, always thought that was more interactive between the species, but perhaps I'm wrong with that. Stage is going well. That's good. What are we doing over here? Can we upgrade this? Yeah, let's upgrade it. We've got the fancy stone. Let's get an upgrade. Over here, that's the guard post. Yeah, let's get these guys upgraded. We want to make sure everybody's nice and happy. They've got upgraded services as best as we can in order to keep them going. That's a guard post. I don't know why I always think stages and guard posts are the same thing. Now maybe we don't have a stage over here. Oh no, there is. I am just blind. There we go, cool. So that should be enough services for people for that. We're doing pretty well with our last harvest. We have a lot of grain, and we've actually got bread stockpiled up, which is even better. How are we doing over here? We could maybe think about upgrading this brewer ever so slightly. Let's get ourselves another kettle. Where can we fit this in? That's the smallest it can go. So it would have to be right up next to the storage, which we can do. And we can build this auxiliary kettle there. There we go. Construct that, guys. Get that done. We've got the metal for it. We've got pots for it, and we've got the furniture for it. Just get it done. Get it done nice and quick. More beer we can produce. Obviously, people will be a bit happier because they can come to the tavern and get some more beer. It shouldn't take us long to get that. And we can just increase the amount of people there. As far as our law goes, our law was dropping for a bit, but we've managed to actually capture some people, which is good. This graveyard isn't full, but people are coming here to mourn anyway. Very nice. Come on, finish up this last little bit, guys. There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's make sure that we're getting all 5 brewers that we need. And you guys just work away and make us some more beer. Overall, things are going okay. I think we managed to kind of come back from the potential death spiral that we had when it came to our food. That's mostly through imports. And also allocating a lot more research as well. That research has been very, very helpful for us. Do we want to build up another laboratory? We don't have the people for just now, but we can certainly get the people. And we are a little bit low in terms of our research points. So yeah, we'll just build up another laboratory. This has just been made out of stone. We're not going to be making it the grand stone that we were using before, just because we don't have quite enough. But we will continue to increase the amount of marbleization around the city. It could be nice to make some of the bigger, or the more important buildings out of polished stone rather than just normal stone. Specifically something like the tavern. But we can have a little think about it in the future. There we go. Just building up this little laboratory. We're going to use some of our iron for that. That's absolutely fine. Slowly but surely getting more and more people. Humans very, very happy, very, very loyal. I think that's due to their services going up. Yeah, they're much more happy because they have more access to stages. Very, very nice. Their access to the tavern just isn't very good is the only thing. To be fair, we could also get an upgrade, which we can do. It does improve the quality by 50%. That'll be pretty massive. Yeah. Okay. It's going to cost us a fair amount when it comes to jugs. So, nothing we do about here. Maybe we want to just let the AI dictate how many of the servers are here. Seems like they're running out a little bit in terms of their food. We'll just see what the AI does with that. If it comes something back with something stupid and puts like a bajillion chefs working there, then we'll change that. But as it stands, I think that's okay. Our food stall's doing all right overall. Yeah, pretty well used, but still getting enough. And we have a lot of grain. That's good. A lot of grain. We even have some bread on stockpile, so we can just work away. Our coal is dropping. I am aware of that. So we will need to re-engage more coal miners soon. But let's just be happy for what we have, and that is some beer. People can be happy. They can have a beer. We've got another laboratory up as well. That should get rid of our research points deficit good before we get hit by any kind of malice. If you don't have research points, obviously you have the issue that the research turns off. So yeah, I think things are going pretty well. And you know what? I think things are going so well, we might just end this episode here. So, I just want to say thank you very much for watching our Songs of Syx playthrough as it goes through. We've still got most of our nobles taken up, but as our population grows, we will be wanting more people to become nobles. So leave a comment down below if you'd like to be one of the nobles, and we'll see what happens to you. Hopefully nothing bad. But no, just want to say thank you very much to everybody who's joined the Burger Band. If you'd like to also join the Burger Band, you can. You can do that via YouTube, Patreon, or Coffee, just to help out the channel a little bit and get some extra benefits, some emojis, so you get early access to videos as soon as they're uploaded, rather than when they're scheduled to release. And you get to be included in any of our community polls that are not available to the general public. So if you want to help us out, feel free to do that. But the most important thing you can do is watch. So thank you very much for watching. And until next time, take care.